So, happy birthday, Fizah!
Thank you.
How old are you again? Can say not.
I'm not secretive lah. My age, I'm 38.
So young.
Yes. Anyway, by the time this particular episode goes out, it's past my birthday already lah. So just to let you know, this is obviously being recorded.
Right. Okay, so how are you gonna celebrate?
Alright, so usually I don't really celebrate much, Rozi. I mean, like, honestly, as you age, really, like, you know, I don't know. I guess it was important having celebrations when you were younger. And I guess the form of acknowledgement is nice. But I think all in all, like, to have a celebration, it's not really my priority. See like how my husband feels like today. If suddenly out of the blue, like in the middle of podcast, like happy birthday, just kick it.
Okay, you hear the voice again. You know whose voice it is now. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, as we age, right, we tend to like, just want it more private. Like, you know, there was even like, I think this year, mine was last month kan. So I felt like, can I just not go out? But I thought, okay lah, tak apalah, call my family members, my mom, my siblings, my parents, yeah,
all the small. I think it's really not about how big the party is. It's about the meaning. You know, it's really like, you know, when you could spend that one day, for example, with your best friend, right? And then she goes like, oh, okay, let's take you out. And it's just the two of you. And it's not really about what you do, but it's the conversations you have, the exchange, you know, that's the one that refreshes you, like, you know, don't you think so?
Yeah, but when you were much younger, were you like, hey, it's my birthday, I want friends around me and all that? No.
Oh, let's see. Actually, I don't think I've ever been that, like, birthdays have never been a huge thing for me. Like, how about you, Rozi? Was it big for you?
I think when I was, maybe after my 20s, I still appreciate like, okay, it's my birthday, I have people around me and then, you know, not like a big celebration every time, but like friends and
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
But then I've also heard of some celebrations, like for example, like the lack of it, or you know, the forgetting of it could kind of like ruffle some feathers, you know, especially between
couples, family members.
Yes, and they'd be like, how can you forget? Am I not like the most important person in your life? You know what I mean?
I think maybe, right, your loved ones will remember, hey, your birthday coming, but it's just that on that day itself,
forget.
Very busy. Yeah. I mean, it happens to me a lot with the people in my family and my friends, best friend. Like, hey, sorry, aku lupakan your birthday semalam, you know? Yeah, because things get busy and
Don't forget. But I guess, I mean, in a way, for those who are a bit more sensitive lah, you know, husband, boyfriend or girlfriend forget your birthday, sangka baik je lah. They could be very busy, you know, up there, so busy until forget, right? No.
I think it's not intentional lah.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
But then again, you know, some people go into this thing where like, how can it be non-intentional? Yeah, you know. Like, I don't know.
And let's not open a can of worms lah. Anyway, talking about aging, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's have a serious conversation right now.
Oh, okay.
About age, okay?
Oh.
I don't know, years from 40.
Okay, before that, I want to ask you. So, what do birthdays mean to you now? Like,
yeah. I mean, that's true. I mean, I guess like if previously we were saying how like, you know, like you were saying at 20s, you do still appreciate the acknowledgement, a bit of celebrations here and there. And I guess when we were younger, it's a bit more like it's your day, you know, it's your birthday. You know, I want to have that pedicure, manicure, ke apa, you know. But as we grow older, and especially women, as we become moms, we will come to realize that your birthday, okay, like for example, your children's birthday, it's actually the day that you give birth to them. And then you reflect. You think about, wait a minute, then on my birthday, my mom gave birth to me. And then suddenly you get really, really emotional, no? Because, I say I want to cry.
Yeah, I know. I feel you.
Because we went through labor and we know that whether the day was a good day for us or a bad day for us, this baby needs to come out.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And the thing that the suffering, all those things, the minute
pain.
you see the child, like I wouldn't say you forget lah, but it's like worth it. Because it's like, mashallah, it's your child. And I'm imagining being in that position for my mother. Like, right. I've heard of her horror stories lah, with birth especially. And then knowing that the minute I came in, and for her to feel like, mashallah, thank you, alhamdulillah, thank you for this daughter. It's not actually a celebration of you. It's actually a celebration of them.
Your mother, yeah. I feel that. now that I'm a mother lah, like you. So on my daughter's birthday, I'm more emotional than on my birthday, but after that, right, on my birthday, I realized that, like you said, my mom went through childbirth. Yeah, so it gives a different meaning to birthdays. So I told my entire family in a family group chat, I said that actually birthdays, right, now to me, it's not about me. It's about my mom.
It's about them.
Yeah, and then I also wonder, right, how do fathers feel?
Yes.
Because they didn't go through the process of giving birth.
But that feeling of seeing your child for the first time,
but last time, daddy's not allowed to be in the delivery ward, right?
is it?
Yeah. Only our time recently.
I don't know, man.
Yeah. I think all that should get the chance to see the process. And
My husband got that chance. He took photos and videos. I mean, not videos, I think photos. I've seen my insides out.
Oops. Is this gonna be cut?
Yeah,
No, the fact that she
lah.
mentioned that it's all video.
Gone. Yes, it's gone. But basically, I agree. Like I think that having to see the birth in itself, be it natural or cesarean, right? I mean, it elevates you, obviously. If you were to see something like that, especially for a husband, and imagining seeing that to the love of your life happening like in front of you, and you're helpless, because you don't know how do I help make this pain go away,
Right.
and there's nothing they can do. But later on, I think that's the suffering bit together, lah. That's when you suffer together, right? But then when the baby comes out, I think the kind of like amazement.
Yeah. I remember how my husband, like, he was like in total like this belief.
Mashallah.
Oh my God, so this is what women go through. Then I'm like, now you know what your mother went through. And, then I also thought like, if only this connectedness, because I feel that, I'm more connected to my mom about being a mother after I became a mother, right? Yeah. So I feel like this whole experience, if I can only relate it and translate the appreciation to my daughter before she becomes a mother, that would be best.
Right. Yeah, I have a daughter too, so I totally understand. Like I too, sometimes I do find myself doing that, no? Macam along the way, kadang-kadang like if there's opportunities to share some kind of wisdom, I'll be like, Sahara, did you know? One day this might happen to you, that and this. But then also it will hit me lah, like. Do they understand? They're too young for me.
But my daughter does ask lah, Mommy, how is it painful? Mommy, I'm very scared to give birth. Like, I said, don't think about it. She's only 6 and she's already thinking.
My daughter is like, I don't get married. I don't. That means I'm gonna have to give birth somehow. Then I'm like, okay.
Is it very painful?
Let's wait until you.
Is it like, they ask a lot of questions, like,
But I mean, all this talk about, them asking questions and then, wanting to share wisdom. I have another question in mind as well, which a lot of people probably have asked or wondered, like, does age actually do represent maturity? Like, the older you get, the more mature you get. Do you think that there is a relation to that?
Yeah, I always get this, right? Like, I mean, elderly always say that, hey, you haven't gone through belum apa cukup makan garam.
Apa garam? Aku yang rasa garam dulu sama dengan.
Yeah. And then at work was all right. Like the young ones will go like, doesn't mean they are older. They are more senior in age. They know more. They know more. Correct.
Yeah, but I guess like in a sense, when we talk about like wisdom in that sense, right? Like we don't know. Okay, as young. Okay, I don't know what to call us anymore. Are we young or are we the old ones? I don't know.
You are young. I passed 40 already.
Okay, like if as a young person, when you're looking at someone older, thinking like, hey, like how come just because you're like much older doesn't mean like you know everything, for example, right? And then you have the older one looking at the younger one going, you all don't know apa, tak pernah rasa apa, aku yang rasa garam dulu, or I've never
Lebih banyak makan
and all those things. So you will probably don't know any as well, right? So you see, to me, both of it is a problem. Having the young one thinking like that of the elder one, and then the elder one thinking like that of the younger one. Because I believe that we both have something to give to each other. And I guess if we open up our minds to it, like, and accept that, the older ones might have. Because there has to be something they experience in
because of the experiences that they have.
Plus years of life that you haven't lived that could be of benefit to you. And then at the same time, the older ones looking at the younger ones thinking, hey, you know what? You are in a generation that I am not familiar with. So what have you got to teach me that would benefit me too? So at the end of the day, if we actually just look at each other respectfully,
Yeah.
I think we will be able to learn from each other, in that sense, as opposed to going like, hey, you younger, I'm younger, should know. I'm younger, you're older. Doesn't mean that you know everything.
Yeah, but I feel that when it comes to technical knowledge, right, there can be moments where the younger ones are much more experienced, more trained, when it comes to technical knowledge. But within that technical aspects of things, right, the different factors that may affect how that technical knowledge is being operationalized. That's where we have to have an open mind that age does play a factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, in real estate, for instance, right? The industrial practices and all that, it may be the same, but of course there are evolvement to it, right? Yeah, but the different types of cases and people you deal with, that's the dynamics of it. Then one, it's really with volume, with numbers,
With experience, the amount of exposure that a person will have. Yeah, I totally agree. I think in the industry that I'm in also is the same thing. It's like, I could be producing something. It sounds like the same thing. I'm producing this show, that show. But the show changes, say. I could be producing something more serious. I could be producing something more like funnier. I could be producing a drama. And all of it follows a different type, a different kind of
audience,
a different audience. And at the same time, ironically, as much as like it sounds like I'm producing it, the process of production, the process of producing it is different for each genre. I mean, so that's my industry. But how about yours? I'm sure also you will have run-ins with situations like this, right?
Right. In my industry, there's a very stark difference between I would say the slightly older realtors and the younger ones in terms of how savvy they are with IT, with social media and all that lah. Yeah, so I think the more senior ones do acknowledge that the younger ones are faster, better at this social media and IT support when it comes to running the business lah. So they actually look forward to learning from us. So I think that's very positive. And for us, the younger ones, right, we respect the elders for the experience that they have, because more volume in transaction translates into more experience in dealing with the complexities and the different cases in the industry, right? Yeah, but of course, sometimes that there are those younger ones who go like, hey, doesn't mean they are senior in age, right? Senior in age maturity. They know better, right? In certain aspects of the business lah. So it's quite subjective.
Now that you mentioned it,
are
you capable of having wisdom if you're younger? I mean, since we're saying that the older they are with more experience, they'll have more wisdom, right? But are you even capable of having wisdom
even though you're younger,
when
right?
you're much younger? Is that I don't know.
Yeah, that's something that I am
maybe,
also.
Yeah,
maybe we can ask the listeners and the viewers.
Talk about as well.
So even though you're young, is it possible that you have more wisdom than someone who's much older?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if it's like you correlate it directly to experiences, the more experience you have, the more wisdom you shall have.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean so also, right?
Yeah, it doesn't translate it.
Yeah.
I guess like in a sense, wisdom is probably the best of two things: knowledge and then experience, right?
And how you internalize
how then you make sense of everything or connect the dots, basically.
Yeah.
Then I think is the birth of wisdom, right?
Yeah.
So for example, I mean, and that's now that I'm thinking about it as well. For example, like a child could also have more wisdom than you if, say, they've experienced things in their lives, they have seen things in their lives that you probably can never account for.
True.
Possible?
Yeah.
Like, for example, kids in Gaza or kids in Sudan or kids like, where we know war-torn countries, the things that they've seen, the things that they've experienced,
They've gone through.
The things that they've gone through. Like, okay, we for a fact can know, we don't even know what it's like to experience one of those days.
Yeah.
And they've been like hundreds of days or could be years, months, years. For Gaza, it's been like more than 100 plus days. So that could be possible. Because I've seen like a post, right? So the other day, okay, so I saw a post. There was this boy talking to the camera saying about so many things that was so insightful to me, coming from probably like a 7-year-old, 8-year-old boy though. So what's that?
Yeah.
What's that if that's not wisdom?
Correct.
So that's actually quite an interesting thing to think about.
But having said that also, right? Okay, let's say we don't go too far. We go like within maybe the context of Singapore.
Yeah.
I was just reading this news about how this child is actually being sexually assaulted by her brother repeatedly. And then the mother...
Let it be, right? Hey, wait, is that the one? Oh,
yeah.
I think
Or rather, the mother just told the son,
Don't
stop
do
it. You
it.
can't do it.
Yes.
You can't do this kind of thing to your sister. And then it happened again. The mother just says that, no, you cannot do this to your sister. So it's just like that, right?
She didn't take a tougher stand.
Correct. So I was telling my husband, probably, right, it's not within the mother's mental capacity and cognitive ability also to enforce and to first explain and enforce the understanding that, that's actually wrong. And then the boy and the daughter also, they are like of, a certain level of probably, how do I say this? Like, different people have different ability to absorb and internalize things, right? So even though you are exposed to like 100 over experiences of a certain incident, but you don't comprehend it and you don't internalize it in a manner where you should.
Still won't understand it. You
correct.
still won't really get it.
Yeah.
You won't get it. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's
relating
that type as well. So I think, right, at the end of the day, is it safe to say that, when it comes to wisdom, it really is about whether you're meant to have that wisdom or not. So like, for example, I could be going through the same thing as you, both of us. Same life, same things happening in our lives, ups and downs, the roller coasters, right? But I internalize it differently and you internalize it differently.
Yeah.
For example, you're someone who goes like, oh, hey, this is bringing me, like, this is making me think of other things, reflecting, going like, oh, yeah. And you're joining the dots and you're building wisdom. Like, this wisdom is like, I don't know how to call it.
Whereas,
Bunga lah.
right. Whereas for me, maybe I just go through it like la la la. So like I didn't get anything.
Oh, that
out
was
of
for
it,
you. For me, that was for you. I mean, the wisdom part was for you. Like, for me, I'll be like, oh no, why does this happen to me? Kenapa? Why can it? Wait, what did I do? You get what I mean? You start questioning. Like, why? Because you really don't understand. It's not internalized.
Yeah.
Not digested in a way that it was meant to. So that means you're meant for that wisdom. And for example, or we're the same age, same life path lah, kononnya lah, as close as possible lah, same wave, so that's quite interesting.
So you shall receive when it's really meant for you, right?
Yeah, when it's time. So I guess age really does. Okay, so all in all, I'm thinking that age equates to, okay, the more you age, the more experiences you should have. Whether or not you want to go through the experience or not, is another thing.
Yeah.
That's why people are going like, oh, bucket list. I've never done this. I've never done that. Before I die, I want to do this and that, right?
Yeah.
But some people, like, all their life, they're like, go.
Yeah. So no need to have bucket list.
No need to have bucket list. No bucket list. My life is a bucket list as it is, for example, right? So we won't know. But technically, if you age and you go through those experiences that are meant for you, which eventually translates to being retained, being internalized, right? Then should build wisdom.
Yeah.
Then eventually should be shared.
Right. So it doesn't matter which age you are of, right?
Yeah.
So when you're given naturally, or maybe you yourself feel compelled to like give back and serve others. Yeah, and in my experience, I think I've chanced upon people who are like with great wisdom, and these people, to them, right, it doesn't matter if they are not known by the public, they are not known on a large scale like mass lecture, Yeah, they have, they give back, and they some teach, some are more involved in the actual act of giving back, in serving the community and serving Allah. But it's really, a small group, like maybe 50 to 100. But the impact and the wisdom that they have, you can really feel, and you really want to like model after,
Yeah. At the end of all this, we should just appreciate every single day that we were blessed to have and make the best out of it lah, with the people we love. And jangan merajuk lah kalau orang lupa birthday. Still got the next birthday, insyaAllah.
True.